extremists are the Nazis and the Millennium. Now, just because they're hiding behind their religion, we're a completely non-racist organisation.
is it then? Answer me this, Tom, if you could, because I think it's fair that I allow you to clear this up. But you will be aware that the English Defence League have themselves got quite a lot of stick by the suggestion that you guys are kind of the two sides of the same coin, as it were.
Yeah, you'd have heard that from either Muslims or left-wing people, because we formed in response to what happened to our soldiers. I myself, both my parents were immigrants to this country. We're an organisation that is set up for English citizens. That doesn't matter if you're Jewish, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, whatever you are, you're welcome within our organisation. We've got Sikh, some of the divisions are led by Sikhs, we've got divisions led by black people. It's just all media, lies and rubbish, which is, again, directed from the government, because we are the true voice of what people want. We don't want Sharia courts operating in this country. We don't want Islamic extremists in all of our universities across this country, recruiting and radicalising young Muslims. Anjem Choudhury, second in command, Saif al-Islam, he was actually a law-abiding, innocent Muslim until he went to Oxford University, one of the best universities in this country, and he was preyed upon and he was radicalised. And that's a crime in itself. But our government are too scared of offending the wider Muslim
You're
community.
Absolutely right about that. I mean, it's frankly breathtaking, the lack of any kind of effort from this government, despite their wise words when they stand at the dispatch box about being serious about the war on terror and those who are a threat to our way of life, and do absolutely nothing. Tommy, stay there, because I want to bring Matthew in Wembley. Matthew, hello.
Hi, guys. Hi, Tommy.
You want to put a point to Tommy, Matthew?
Yeah, Tommy, you're saying, firstly, I mean, to say that the EDL has nothing to do with the National Front, yes, is technically correct, but secondly, absolute fascist. I've seen people from the EDL, not necessarily yourself, Tommy. I've actually worked with you on a show. I won't mention which one. But the fact that you can say that the EDL is not fascist, is not extremist, is in itself self-denying. Secondly, Muslim communities have done more than enough to go against and condemn these nutters who want to attack Britain. Firstly, speaking as a Muslim myself, okay, the problem isn't to do with people not liking our way of life. The problem is British government and the American government having their fingers in the Middle East for more than 100 years and no one doing anything about it until Britain, Prime Minister Gordon Brown, and by the way, everyone seems to be angry with Gordon Brown at the moment. EDL is angry with them.
Matthew, let me just interject. Are you not just displaying here the very problem in that you're claiming that you would condemn the Chowdhuries and the like, but there's a huge kind of but, almost as if you understand the motives. Don't agree with 9/11, but...
Of course.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? It's that but that causes offence.
In any debate, you know fully well you can understand where someone is coming from, but not sympathise with them. To say that you understand them is the same as sympathising with them is one of the biggest problems that Britain is going to face. Britain, until it understands that it is in a position to negotiate with terrorists, not negotiate in terms of bending completely backwards.
But you understand then why a bunch of blokes jumped on the tubes and buses and blew them? So you understand that?
I understand the reason. Yes, of course I understand the reason.
You really you believe they were that angry?
I believe that they've got a problem. They don't know how to express that problem. By the way, the people who actually carry it out are they're either mentally ill or they're very, very criminal or they're idiots or they're nutters. But the problem is every time someone tries to have a debate and say that this is the reason why they're doing it, immediately you get jumped on. To be honest, sometimes I feel sorry for certain people who support, for example, the British National Party, which I believe is a fascist party itself, but because no one is willing to understand what they're having to say. The problems with immigration, the problems that they're suffering.
All right, okay. Let's bring Tommy back in on this then, Tommy. I mean, I'm assuming the point I put to Matthew forms part of your concern that there isn't enough condemnation as you see it.
It does, but first of all, Matthew said that he feels the Muslim community are doing more than enough to tackle this. Now, I can think of 3, maybe 4 non-Muslims who have brought the Islamic religion into disrepute. Salman Rushdie hid for 20 years. Van Gogh's dead. We've got the geezer who done the Danish cartoons, had his attempt on his life 2 days ago. Gert Wilders living in complete fear and protection for his life. And if that same stance was taken, if Anjem Choudary and that really are taking their religion into disrepute, as all the moderate Muslims keep saying, then why is a tough stance not met with them? The same way when Stop the Islamification Europe decided they were going to do a protest outside Harrow Mosque, a baying mob of 1,000 Muslim men armed with ammonia, hammers, chisels and knives came out to defend it. Now, why won't they come out and defend us against the Islamic extremists? Because if we do it, we're racist. So
okay.
It's down to the Muslim community to deal with these issues.
You tell us what we're supposed to do.
Drive them out of your mosques, drive them off the street corners, doing all these universities.
But do you understand?
Where I live, if the National Front, if I opened my window and I saw the